Good afternoon. I'm by the name Kwejaki Zuta, a student of Unimark IJ and a member of NC, an Nkrumah's organization. We believe in Nkrumahism and we believe in Pan-Africanism. Today we are here at Legon having a seminar section about how African liberation came about, and I'm here to interview one of our brothers by the name
Jedediah Fensen, former alumni of University of Ghana 2022. I also believe in a dream of one African, and African liberation as well. I'm currently into real estate.
Okay, thank you very much. So before I get into my main questions, I want to ask you about what do you know about African Liberation Day?
I know African Liberation Day is a day that has been specifically stated or chosen to celebrate our forefathers who fought and those who are still in a continuous struggle for African liberation.
Okay, thank you very much. So my second question will be, what were some of the key factors that led to the rise of the African liberation movement?
I think the key factors, it started from Europe, when some of our key forefathers, we can talk of Kwame Gyebe, and we can talk of Martin Luther King, that they actually laid down the foundation because they realized that there were more racism in Europe. And then them being educated, they realized that Africans need to be self-reliant in order for their predecessors not to go through the same struggle. And then it boils down to Nkrumah as well. After being educated, they realized that we possess a lot than being independent. That's where I think it started from. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much.
Hello.
Yeah,
How are you doing?
doing good.
Okay, so as you know, today is African Liberation Day, and I would like to know your idea on what today is. So if you can tell me, or you can briefly tell me what today is.
African Union Day, to be frank, to me, there's no unity in Africa. When you look at Togo, for instance, one person can be in power like 8 to 10 years, and the person will just change the constitution for him to be in power. Even some countries are fighting each other. The union is not doing anything. Even the chairman to sit up to address the issue, they don't do it. So me, I don't think there's any unity in Africa.
So, what do you think we can do if we want Africa to unite? What do you think is the best solution to all these problems?
If the leaders can come together to address the issue.
Hello.
Hi,
How are you doing?
I'm good.
Please, what's your name, please?
Maria.
Okay. Maya, you know today is 25th May, right? And it's African Unity Day. So I'd like to know your opinion on what you think today is.
Today is about celebrating African Union and all African countries coming together to put their resources together for the betterment of Africa in general.
Okay, so as of now, do you think Africa is united, like the unity, do you think it's still there?
Not really. We're getting there, but we're not yet there.
Then what do you think we should do about it? Or what do you think is the best solution to tackle this problem?
I feel like individuals need to be educated more about African countries and our cultures and everything, because it's like we know a lot of things about the Western world, but we don't know things around us, like the people around us. Yeah.
Hi,
How are you doing?
I'm great.
Okay. My name, please.
He said,
Your name, please.
I'm Edward.
Okay, so Mr. Edward, as you know, today is ALD Day, and then I would like to know your take about what you think today is.
Well, today is African Union Day, or can I say African Unity. And I think it's important as we as black people. For me, I believe that we black people are the source of life even on earth that we are living. Because civilization began in Africa. And I even believe that the white race even came from us, which might be maybe a conspiracy theory. But I believe that it's important that we come together, not just Africans, but everyone around the diaspora. We come together, not just becoming maybe a form of community, like maybe how the UN or how the NATO or whatever it is, but like a community on its own, like a nation, that we speak one language, not necessarily being maybe Chi or Swahili or something, but we speak one language, like in terms of voice, everything we do, identity-wise, we are together. So I think that this day is very, very important for us to celebrate and keep on pushing the agenda that we need to come together.
Okay, so do you think Africa, do you think we are united, like as of today?
We're not united. We are the most diverse people on earth. Yes, even in terms of everything. Even in Ghana, we have about 75 ethnic groups which are recorded in terms of officially recorded. And we even believe that there are other ethnic groups that are not even part because of how minute they are in terms of numbers. So we are diverse, but our diversity doesn't mean we can't be together. Because diversity is a very beautiful thing.
Thank you very much. Hello.
Hi.
Yeah, how are you guys doing?
You're good.
Okay, so please, can I know your name, please?
Okay, I'm Jemima.
I'm Rabi.
Okay. So, today is 25th May, right? And we all know it's African Liberations Day. So I would like to know your opinion on what you think about Africa's unity.
Okay, so honestly, I think it would be amazing if Africa could come together, like other countries could come together, like the other countries, like the United States of America and those type of countries. I feel like it will allow us to achieve more as a people if we are united than we are divided.
Yeah, I actually agree with that because I feel like you see with United States of America, they have different countries coming together and they form a very strong in terms of influence and everything. So I think if all African countries come together and create some kind of front to, in terms of influence and putting out their ideas in terms of political influence and stuff, I think it will help. Yeah.
Okay, so with this division that Africa is going through today, do you think that the foreigners like America, Europe, and other foreign countries, do you think they also play a part in Africa's division?
I think that's quite a tricky question, but there's something to say that it's like we are free from colonialism, but there's neo-colonialism.
Okay.
So that when we go for stuff, when we go and ask for stuff from the IMF and people like that, it's like we are in the country, but they are giving us the decisions to take. So I think, in a way, I think it plays a little part, but I'm not too versed on the subject to say.
I also think they really have an influence because even though we are now free from their rule and everything, I think that most of the time it's about our mentality and how we think. I think we still have this colonized mentality where we think that the white people are better than us. So whatever we do, we have to go for their consent and everything. Yeah.
Thank you very much for it.
By the name?
My name is Dr. K. Makita Mohammed, and I thank you for inviting me on your show.
Okay, Thank you very much. So I have 2 quick questions for you, and I'll be happy if you embrace me with that. So my first question is going to be, what were some of the key factors that led to the rise of the African Liberation Movement? And secondly, can you highlight some influential leaders that played a role in the African Liberation Movement?
Those are some great questions, and they're very large questions, because the liberation of African people started as far back as the 1400s upon the arrival of European invaders. And it's always been about our freedom, our rights. If it was from freedom, running into the hills, or either to fight among European invaders, it was the fight in the African diaspora, fighting against plantation owners. Our fight for liberation has started as early as those chieftains that fought against the invaders, to Kwame Nkrumah, Azikiwe, Jomo Kenyatta, to over into the west. You had Marcus Garvey, Henry Williams, W.B. Du Bois, and it has been one where they united in the Pan-African movement, which started in Manchester, and from there proceeded over into Africa. It was the 5th Congress, Pan-African Congress, in which Nkrumah led the banner. So we've had many leaders that have fought for our liberation, and many leaders that still are. So what we do today is we continue the battle for liberation, and liberation is against systemic white supremacy, which systemic white supremacy is a social issue that plagues every area of society.
Thank you very much. The title, Turn on the Light for African Liberation, and I'm here with my comrade.
Yeah, my name is Amudani Garba. I'm with the Nkrumah Circle. Right.
Okay, so I have a very quick, relevant question to ask you, and it goes: what were some of the tactics and strategies that was employed by the African Liberation Movement to secure African independence?
Yeah, so if you had listened to the presentation by Comrade Imole, he mentioned that Kwame Nkrumah defined positive action as the sum total of all the methodologies deployed to cripple imperialism and colonialism. And there are basically two. One is, one is armed struggle. That is the use of arms, guns, the use of force and violence to displace colonial authority from a colonized territory. The other one is through the use of constitutional means, and that takes the forms of legitimate use of strikes, boycotts, and the likes, of rallying the people around legitimate concerns as a way of bringing pressure to bear on colonial authority. And in those two instances, it worked. It worked in Ghana, it worked in Nigeria, it worked in Kenya, it worked in a lot of countries for violence as well, for armed struggle. It worked in Zimbabwe, it worked in South Africa, it worked in Angola, it worked in Mozambique. So basically, these are the two strategies deployed by African Liberation Movement to defeat colonialism on the continent.
Okay, thank you very much. I think that was insightful and we've learned.